Welcome back to the Delaney Certified Correct Playbook. We have an NFC East matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys this Sunday night at AT&T Stadium. Both teams are 3-3. One team's going to win and take command in the Eastern Division, and the other team's going to lose and have nothing but problems for the rest of the year. The preview's coming up next on the Delaney Certified Correct Playbook.
Everybody, you've reached the Delaney Cowboys Certified Correct Playbook.
So the New Orleans Saints didn't make any excuses about backup players and injuries. What they did is they had their players ready to go and ready to play football. Now, for what the Dallas Cowboys, the way they're going to have to attack this game, they're going to have to get right back to doing what I started showing the Dallas Cowboys to do last year when Scott Linehan was still here. They're going to have to start throwing the screen ball. They're going to have to start screening this ball because the Philadelphia Eagles, their front seven, they're going to be playing lights out football, especially early in the game in the first quarter. This is the quarter that the Cowboys seem like they have not been able to get fired up and they haven't been prepared by the coaching staff, by Jason Garrett, how to attack in the first, right at the beginning of the game. These Philadelphia Eagles, I'm looking for specialized blitzes. They're going to be sending outside linebackers. They're going to be sending middle linebackers. They're going to be sending corners. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple of robber blitzes. They're going to try to make the Cowboys do something stupid early in this football game. And they're going to try to get on top of the Dallas Cowboys early in this football game. Okay? Because they know that their secondary is pretty poor. And what you want to do in the first quarter, and here I am explaining to the Cowboys how to do things again, but it's the nucleus of my show. It's the core of my show. So it's hard for me not to be a teacher. But like I said, you know, when I see what I teach on the field, it also leaves a sore spot in my stomach because I'm like, hey, man, I'm not getting no check for this. And the checks that they're giving are these guys that you see here that don't know what the hell they're talking about, been around 10 years, ain't won nothing. Okay, so that does make it a little awkward for me, but I have a different kind of show. My show isn't based around the players and their contracts and what players we're drafting. My show's always been based around football play calling, football coaching, okay, and knowing what play to call on down and distance, knowing what the down and distance is and what play call that brings up for that down and distance, understanding situational football, and not giving applause and clapping your hands when a coach goes for it on fourth down. It's not just about going for it on fourth down. It's about we're going for it on fourth down because we have the correct fourth down play called. We've done our study, and we know that this particular play right here, coupled with this particular formation, this is what's going to work on this fourth down. And that's the reason why we're going for it on fourth down, because we got the play. And that's been the Achilles heel of the Dallas Cowboys ever since Bill Parcells left. That's been the Achilles heel of the Dallas Cowboys ever since Norv Turner and Jimmy Johnson left. You got to have a football coach that understands it's fourth down and one. This is the situation on the field. Here's the quarter that we're in. Here's what time is on the play clock. If we go for this, we got to have a play that's 100% guaranteed or 99.9% guaranteed that we're going to make it. Okay, you just can't say, oh, okay, I'll go for it on fourth down, run Ezekiel Elliott into a brick wall of 9 people, and you don't understand the down and distance, you don't understand the play call, you don't understand if they're going to show you 9 men in the box, you got one-on-one coverage, and you got to burn them on that one-on-one coverage because they're saying, hey, we're going to stop the best thing that we know that you do. We're not going to let you do it. We're going to force you to do something else. And then that's where the Dallas Cowboys have to outsmart these teams and say, okay, I'm going to do that something else. And here go the play that I'm going to be running to accomplish that goal on that something else. So, bottom line, the Dallas Cowboys have to stop getting beat at their own game. The Green Bay Packers played the Cowboys 2 weeks ago, came down here in their backyard, beat the Cowboys at their own game. They ran the football. That's what the Dallas Cowboys are supposed to be doing, running the football. Pull guards. You're supposed to throw that screenplay to break up the aggressiveness of that defensive line. I got to see that screenplay 2 times a quarter, like I've instructed these guys on about 10 of my videos. and that the Cowboys started doing. Okay, and then they don't understand it has to be consistent. Then they'll take a week off like they did last week, go back to the old vanilla style play calling. That's why Tony Romo said, hey, Jason Garrett's footprints are all over this play calling that I'm looking at today. So Jason Garrett has to humble down, back off. You've already installed what the Delaney Certified Correct Playbook has taught you to do, which is run the football, pull guards, run off guard and center, pull those guards, run sweeps, throw that screen ball. Then we run the stutter step pump and go. And then you got to make sure you're not doing the same things out of every formation where it's identified. That's why Tony Romo identified it. He saw it was back to vanilla football coaching, and he called Jason Garrett out on it. Okay, he called him out. That means Jason Garrett got in the way of the play calling. Kellen Moore has already been instructed to play calling. Mr. Jones gave him what the Delaney Certified Correct Playbook told him to do. Kellen Moore coupled it with his play calling, and that was the play calling you saw the first 3 weeks. And that's why in the first 3 weeks, you saw what I had installed last year when the changes were being made. You saw the stutter step pump and goes. You saw the double moves that we installed. You saw the pulling guards. You saw the screen ball being thrown. Okay, that's what's going to have to happen. We're going to have to run the ball downhill. You're going to have to be patient with your run. I need Ezekiel Elliott to get 25 handoffs in this game, and I need play action pass down the field. Things are going to pop wide open, and that's what Aaron Rodgers did. They ran the ball. They popped some big plays off the play action. That's Dallas Cowboy football. You let the Green Bay Packers come down here and play Dallas Cowboy football, and they knocked you off. So you can't be letting other teams beat you at your own game. And when you see things like that happening, that falls on your head coach. That means your head coach isn't watching what he's doing, okay? He isn't in the film room. He isn't instilling in the players the philosophy of the team, the way the team is conducted, the way their identity is structured. As a football team that runs the ball 25 times, you throw a screen pass or two every quarter, and then you burn these guys on the play action. And another thing Ezekiel Elliott's going to have to do, I usually don't say much about Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott, you got to start faking that run inside. When you get to the second level, you got to start taking that inside step and then take that ball and bust it to the sideline. You bite inside, you plant your left foot, you take your body, fake like you're going to run inside off of that pulling guard that was in front of you on that play that we're talking about. You had a nice pulling guard. Okay, he led you through the hole. Okay, you got to fake like you're going to go inside to make that defender, make him turn his body like he's going to attack you inside. You got to bounce that play outside to the sideline and take that ball down the sideline like you used to do. Okay, I've seen you make that mistake a couple of times. I see you picking the wrong hole. They don't put the fullback in front of you enough. You're not lined up in the I formation enough. And when that fullback is in front of you, Mr. Ezekiel Elliott, you got to follow the fullback into the hole. I see the fullback running to the right side of the line of scrimmage, and I see Ezekiel Elliott running to the left side. When you got a fullback, and we know it's rare that they put the fullback in front of you, Mr. Elliott, you're usually sitting there by yourself like you're doing right now. You ain't got no fullback in front of you. So I don't blame you 100% because there's never a fullback in front of you. So your mind doesn't remember that when there is a fullback in front of you, you got to follow that lead block of that fullback and then bounce off to whatever hole. Let that fullback penetrate the hole, pick up that linebacker, and then you choose what hole you're going to run to. After you follow that fullback, you're going to be cracking 10 and 15-yard runs because of that. All right? So let's get back. And then on special teams, we're going to need a special team play to win this game. So I suggest an onside kick, a surprise onside kick right around halftime, before halftime or after halftime, a surprise onside kick. And then something else on special teams like a fake field goal. Let's get a double reverse handoff in the game. Some kind of double reverse handoff or some kind of flea flicker. I'm only talking about in the middle of the third or the fourth quarter of the game where you can catch these guys off guard. We need some kind of trick play, but we want to be consistent. And last but not least, Rashard, you're going to have to start blitzing corners and start doing what everybody's doing to you. Every time you turn on the Cowboys, these teams are blitzing cornerbacks. They're blitzing safeties. They're blitzing outside linebackers. And Awazie, when you do a cornerback blitz, you can't do what you did against Aaron Rodgers. You can't run up to Aaron Rodgers and wave your hands in his face. You got to run up to Aaron Rodgers and knock him on his goddamn ass. You did a perfect corner blitz in the Green Bay Packers game, and then you hit the brakes right when you were running up to Aaron Rodgers and about to hit him. Then you stopped and waved your hands in his face, and he completed the pass down the field for 15 yards. When you come on a corner blitz, you lower your shoulders, you put your helmet into the stomach of that quarterback so they can't say that you gave him a blow to the head. Lower your shoulders, you knock that quarterback on his goddamn ass. Point blank, period. I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction. I think the Cowboys are going to come out victorious after the debacle up in New York. Jason Garrett would have had to walk home if I'm the owner, and he would have just been making it back to Texas right around now from walking back from New York City. But it just doesn't look like Mr. Jones has the moxie to pull a trigger on that. So hopefully we'll get better results next time out here. So that's the formula. Let's run the ball. Let's stop the run. And if those running backs start gouging you up the middle, any NFL team, you immediately go to a zone blitz, a zone run blitz. Anytime running backs are gaining chunks of yard on your team, and you know that you're weak and you got injured players playing and your run defense is weak, you got to run zone blitz every other down on every series. You make sure that team knows that you're sending in a robber on that zone blitz to knock that goddamn running back on his ass, meet him at the line of scrimmage. All right? If you notice, when the Dallas Cowboys do what the Delaney Certified Correct playbook tells them to do, they usually win the game. When the Dallas Cowboys don't do what the Delaney Certified Correct playbook tells them to do, which is running the ball, stopping the run, play action pass, double moves, and screen ball with Ezekiel Elliott, and put a fullback in front of him and teach Ezekiel Elliott how to follow that fullback to the hole and then bounce out of that. Let everybody get sucked in and then bounce out. Ezekiel Elliott, the sideline is your friend. The sideline is your friend. And I want to see bump and run coverage by these goddamn corners. Stop playing off 7 yards, letting these receivers take off like a rocket and burn you down the field. You've got to get up in the face of these receivers and break up their timing if you want to win a game in the National Football League. I need bump and run coverage every other play. That's going to do it from the Delaney Certified Correct playbook.
Podcast I was listening to yesterday, one of the rare podcasts. If Jason Garrett got fired, who's hiring him? What's his next job? See the head coach at Princeton, his alma mater? There's no NFL team making him a head coach. I'm not certain what NFL team is lining up to make him an offensive coordinator.
Remember, you cannot win a football game in the National Football League if your coach doesn't understand how to outcoach the other team's coach. You're gonna lose. As I always say, see you next time.
Thanks for joining in. See you next time.